Welcome into the RotoWire DFS show. We got a 3-game slate over on DraftKings Saturday, March 8th. I'm Adam Zdroik, joined by Ryan Belongia. Make sure to check out rotowire.com/soccer for all the other content going on. Our YouTube page as well, RotoWire Soccer. We just did a betting show, me and Chris Ryan. 6 bets over on that one. Ryan, we're back from Champions League, and we get rewarded with, it's another 3-game slate, but we get Liverpool as one of the biggest favorites of the season, home against Southampton. Are you amped up right now?
I'm just amped that we have a slate, but I'm not really amped for this slate. Have we seen a 2.99 total all season? I'm not sure. Maybe City was over 3 one time, maybe?
It was 3.05 like yesterday. Also, we updated our cheat sheet, so we technically couldn't have seen a implied total above 3 before this, but it's definitely, I think City might have been early in the season. They were close to a 90% favorite. Can't remember the matchup, but obviously probably one of the bottom 3 teams. But this is about as bad as it gets here for the Premier League.
Yeah. So one of the biggest favorites of the season, highest totals of the season. You'd expect Mo Salah to be about 12K here, and he's 9,400. So
having one of the best seasons ever,
having one of the best
in the best matchups, he's under 10K. Thank you, DraftKings.
Right. So, it's a Liverpool slate, and then they underpriced. It's already a Liverpool slate, and then they grossly underpriced Salah and underpriced a few other guys probably. It's pretty straightforward in a lot of ways. A little bit interesting for tournaments maybe, but it sucks that they didn't price Salah correctly.
Yeah, I guess the thing that we're going to maybe most important on Saturday is when lineups come out. Arne Slot came out and was like, Southampton is the first of 3 finals this week. And
he really said that?
He said that.
I mean, the league's over and it's Southampton, so I don't know about that.
I saw it this morning. I was like, what's this guy trying to do here? Obviously, he's trying to motivate his team, but you don't need to motivate the press. I don't know. But we could technically, I don't think it's going to happen because Salah wants records. He wants more goals. I don't think he's going to be benched here, but technically Harvey Elliott can come in. We're already projecting some rotation. We got Tsimikas, Curtis Jones, Darwin Nunez. It could be whoever, really. We don't know. It could be Endo in the midfield. Konza could be in there instead of Konate, something like that. We don't know what's going to happen, but we're just going to go on the basis of Salah probably going to start. We'll start there. Soboslai has basically been playing every game. We'll go there. And then, maybe we'll call it 50-50 that Darwin and Curtis Jones both start. We don't know. TAA probably going to start because Connor Bradley isn't an option. Neither is Joe Gomez. So you got to think TAA will start. So that's kind of what we're going with. And then what do you think? 75-25 that Tsimikas starts here over Robertson?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think Tsimikas is likely to start. Trent kind of has to start. Curtis Jones probably gets to start. McAllister or Soboslai might take a seat. You'd think Darwin starts. Yeah, I think everything you said is correct. Harvey Elliott could come in. Really, just the annoying thing is that if Salah was 11-5 or whatever, his ownership wouldn't even be that much different than it's going to be now. People. So it's that's what makes it annoying. But yeah, some of the other lineups, I was just Fulham have Sasa Lukic suspended. I've seen that maybe they could go back to that 3 at the back or 5 at the back that they've done a couple times. So I could see that. And then
I will say that's never really worked in their favor, but
yeah. Right. Instead of bringing Kearney in, but and then maybe Ipswich too could play 5 at the back or 3 at the back, but looks pretty good. Palace lineup should be exactly that.
Yeah, Hughes is suspended. JP Mateta is out, so Nketiah and definitely Lerma and Wharton there in the midfield. They don't really change things up. I don't even know if Southampton matters playing at Liverpool, but I guess you can get that Sulemana goal
Right. I didn't even think about Southampton's lineup.
Some things could change here. Aribo has been playing kind of center back lately. Ugochukwu returns from suspension. Smallbone and Downs both started there last week, and nothing changed. They may have been even worse in their last game. As you said, for Ipswich, Twanzebe is suspended. So, we'll see. We'll see what these lineups look like. Hutchinson could be back. He was mentioned in the presser, and Ciso could be back. Everyone's favorite, and Ciso could be back. So there are some things to consider in this Ipswich lineup. Looking at Brighton, no Lamptey, so definitely Estupinian will be in, and Veltman's not back, so we'll see who's playing right back. So there are some things in here, but as you said, it's probably going to be, if Salah is 11.5K, he'd still be 85%. Now that he's 9.4K, he's going to be 90%. I mean, it's not. There's really zero reasons to fade Salah unless you're playing 150 lineups and you want to be different. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, really just a game theory play in a big tournament. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Like, what are the?
You'd have to play like Darwin and Nketiah and as I don't. It's one of those. I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't recommend doing it here.
With the way he's played this season and how often he gets the ball in the wing, like what are the chances Liverpool either only score 1 or 2 goals without Salah on the pitch, or they score 4 and he's not involved in any of them? Like, what are the chances that happens? I just don't think. I felt like more likely in the past with the Klopp teams, but now like so much runs through him on the right side. He's getting all these assists, PKs. I don't know. It just seems unlikely that Liverpool score 4 and like he's not in part in any of them.
Right. I mean, sure, there's a chance they only score 2, right? And he gets an assist and finishes with like 15. But that pretty much seems like the floor,
That might be it, right? You might still need that, though. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that might be right, because there's just not a lot of like that. That's kind of what I was saying. Who else could you play? I mean, I guess you could play Brighton guys. Like, you just need 20+ points from other forwards, which can happen, but it's
to
just
put
harder
this
on this.
in a better perspective. Liverpool have a higher implied goal total than the totals for the other 2 matches, than the combined totals for the other 2 matches. Both those are below 3. So
yeah,
that's what we're talking about here with Liverpool, and their prices being stupid.
No, it is worth mentioning that Palace have one of their highest totals of the season. You rarely see Palace with a total above 2. I mean, seriously. So if I think it's fine to target some Palace guys instead in tournaments.
So let's get to second forward here. It is second forward because Salah is 9.4K.
Yeah, it's
cash games,
second forward.
You need to play Salah. Yeah, in cash games you need to play Salah. We can't get around.
I mean, you can't even fade him in like single entry tournaments and like high stakes tournaments. You just can't.
Yeah, you're basically asking to lose money.
Right.
On the other end of that, if he repeats his PSG performance because Southampton aren't as good as PSG, then you're in luck.
Yeah, I think it's a fine fade for that $20 lottery where all the money is at first place. If you want to fade him there, go for it.
Yeah. The other Liverpool players here, Jota, if he starts, is 8.4K. Gakpo is 8.7K. Probably not going to start. He's not healthy. Darwin is 7.5K. Diaz is 7.2K. And I guess Chiesa technically could be in line to start, but he just really hasn't played much this season. It'd be strange if he started. He's 7.9K. If Darwin starts at 7.5K, is he in cash range for you?
He's in consideration, but I would never call him like a lock or a must.
No, you can't call it. Yeah,
you just can't, because he also seems to have all his good performances, or when he scores, is off the bench, and then when he starts, everybody plays him, and it never happens. He also hasn't started a game for a long time. I mean, quite a long time. Let's see here. He started one back in the Champions League against Lille in January. FA Cup. I mean, he hadn't started a Premier League game since Boxing Day, when he was massive chalk home against Leicester and finished with 4 points. So if Darwin can finish with 4 points home against Leicester, he can finish with that here. The other side is...
That was when Leicester were playing well.
Right. I mean, at least better. And, this is a great spot for Liverpool. If you want to play their center forward, who's coming off a nice game, he's fine in any format. He's probably like a little bit, it's a little bit underpriced, right? He probably should be more expensive.
Yeah, here's a good comparison here. Liverpool traveled to Southampton December 18th. Southampton, I guess technically they've probably been playing terrible all season, so we don't take any of that into account. But Liverpool started Endo and Kwanzaa at center back, Niani, Morton as defensive midfielders, Elliott, McAllister, Joe Gomez as a left back. Darwin went 90 in that game, 4 shots and a goal. This is obviously sample size, but just showing the matchup and
he's a little underpriced here and just viable in any format.
Yeah, second best odds on the slate to score behind.
Yeah, and so would Luis Diaz. Seen him projected in some lineups for 72. Obviously, that would be fine. If you don't play a Liverpool player, I think you're punting, right? Like, are you going to spend money for Minte now with Estupinian back? Probably not. Maybe even that doesn't even matter just because, there's a lot of opportunity costs on this slate. But I don't know. I don't see anything else in this range. Adam, you could punt the second spot though if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think what we were talking about yesterday. I think my dummy. I think it had Danny Welbeck in there, 5.5K. Look at his goal odds here. He's at plus 200, not the best, but yeah, home against Fulham. There's not really anyone who pretty much anywhere stands out if you're not gonna look at Darwin. Unless you look at Sarr.
I'm actually looking at $4,700 Philogene.
Okay.
Why not? Look at the game logs. He's become like all of a sudden a 90-minute player, almost like 90-minute. They rested him in the FA Cup because I don't know if they had to or just because he's going to come out and play 90 again here. He's got the highest floor. 4 shots in each of the last 2, and Palace just aren't that good. So, I don't see why. Philogene seems fine to me.
Wait, what do you mean by that statement on Palace not being that good?
Oh, they'll give up floor. They'll give up chances. I've seen them get dominated by lesser teams twice in the FA Cup.
I was gonna say, this
but
matchup is more difficult than the game at Manchester United and the game against Tottenham.
Well, look at the teams you just said. I mean, the 2 of the worst teams, Man U and Tottenham.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying this is a more difficult matchup.
Yeah, I know, but it's still not a bad one, right? I don't think it's a bad playing Palace.
I wouldn't say it's
a bad matchup.
I wouldn't say it's good.
No, I wouldn't say it's good either. But he's only 4,700. They're not a team that
I wouldn't be like, hey, he was awesome in these last 2 games, so he's going to repeat this because Crystal Palace aren't good. I wouldn't say it like that. I would look at it like 2 goals against Manchester United were lucky. They're up a man for 45 minutes in that one, so that led to a better floor. And then they basically were down the majority of the match against Tottenham. Had that floor. They're also at home in that one. Crystal Palace last home game, they allowed 6 shots to Aston Villa. I don't know.
That was an interesting game. Yeah, I mean Villa didn't Villa put out a questionable line? No, I hear you, but Palace isn't a team that I don't know you think's gonna suffocate floor points or something. I don't know.
Well, I just said they did though.
One time.
I just look at their most recent game. They gave up 6 shots at home against Aston Villa. The game before that, they gave up 0.2 xG at Fulham, and you're coming out here bashing your former hometown. What's the deal?
Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe they turned a corner because months ago, I would have said this, but then they were bad for a long time. Palace.
Plus, they got Adam Morton back. Your guy, Adam Morton, he's back.
Mateta out. Will Hughes out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Philogene is It's 4.7K. So
But also, it's kind of just the way Ipswich play too. They're not like a Leicester or Southampton, really. I feel like they can go for it at least and have players that, I don't know, it just feels different to me.
December 3rd, Crystal Palace at Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town, 9 shots, 0.49 XG, 4 corners.
Yeah, but Philogene would have 10 floor in that game. Like he's 4,700. That's what I say. Like, it's a fine spot for a $4,700 player. Is really what I'm saying.
All right, I don't really agree with him having a 10-point floor in that game, but
okay,
I'll let it slide.
Okay, fine. Maybe that's a little generous, but
either way, he's 4.7K. So, like, what are we talking about at the end of the day?
I just mean he's got to have a point per dollar, a respectable floor compared to, like, I don't know, other people in this range.
Yeah, I think what we're getting at is these basically everyone above 5K more or less is probably not going to be worth it, with Sarr at 7K, João Pedro at 6.9K, Iwobi not in the conversation at 7.4K. And then you get down and, I'm kind of bashing Philogene, but like, he has as good a floor as all those guys, and he's 4.7K. So that's more or less what you're getting at. So in cash games, definitely. I mean, 4K for Jack Clark also. I actually maybe like Jack Clark a little more if he's 4K.
Oh, I didn't even, yeah, I mean, Jack Clark too. Sorry, I was just, you had me looking at these Palace game logs. I mean, you stopped before they got dominated at home against Everton just the week before that. 6 shots on goal, you remember that? Everton are terrible. Can't create chances, can't
What do you mean
score.
they got dominated?
6 shots on goal at home to Everton.
They
2
gave
goals.
up 0.96 XG. They got a random goal from Carlos Alcaraz.
Okay, I'm just saying.
11 shots. You can't say dominate. Your usage of the word dominate is incorrect on this show.
Okay, but yeah, right. Okay. When a team dominate is as much as Everton away could dominate Palace.
Now you're just underrating David Moyes' Everton here. You're coming up with a lot of hot takes.
I'm just saying. You can't be scared of Palace.
All right, so let's just plug in Salah and Jack Clark and see what happens with the rest of our lineup. So let's forward. Let's move on. We'll get to some tournament plays as we get going here. But midfield with Eze here at 9K. As you said, not Crystal Palace are not Liverpool, but Eze in one of his better matchups of the season at home is 9K. Another guy who probably should be 10K if we look back at prior prices. Home against Villa, he was 9.4. At Fulham, he was 9.4. At Manchester United, he was 10K. And now he's 9K home against Ipswich. So are we locking Eze in for cash games?
I mean, seems like a pretty easy click to me, right? I mean, everything you just said. I don't even know what else can I say.
It's hard to get around it.
Great player, great matchup, underpriced, PKs, half the sets, easy click.
So I guess
unless you want to spend all your money on Liverpool, right? Like, you can't afford him if you want to play Salah, Nunez, Trent, Tsimikas, and one of the midfielders, then you can't afford Eze. So if Liverpool are going to win like 5-0, and we've seen Eze bust in great spots plenty of times. So if you want to do it for tournaments, fine. But it seems like an easy click otherwise.
So speaking of those Liverpool guys, Jones is 8.2K, Soboslai 7.3K, McAllister 6.4K. Harvey, if he starts, he's 5.4K. I mean, what
Jones would be unowned. I mean, Jones would be unowned, I think, pretty much no matter what.
Just as the most expensive one.
Yeah, unless you get some weird lineups, 8,200 is just too much for him. Like, even if he's like in a pseudo front three. But yeah, the other guys, if so I've seen Sobo might start without McAllister, then I think you'd definitely want to get there. It looks like he would take corners. He took the first corner against PSG, and then McAllister took the rest of them. So yeah, I would want Sobo if McAllister didn't start. You could play him otherwise. I mean, he's been great recently. You mentioned like playing 90 minutes every game, but also just playing very attacking. So I wouldn't mind him. McAllister if he starts splitting sets, I think you'd have to consider that. That seems like a pretty good play. Harvey
Assumedly
Elliott.
splitting sets.
I mean, he has in every like each of the last 5 games, I think.
I noticed that last game, or
I'm gonna bring it up. Yeah, that one where he didn't take any against Newcastle.
Yeah, so
I believe they
Newcastle
only
game
had
when,
one on. Yeah,
okay.
they had one on that side, and Sobo took it. But yeah, so you're right. Maybe not. I mean, they only had 2 against PSG. He took one, and Soboslai took the other.
Looks like Trent took. I think
Trent took a free kick from like the halfway line. That's why that's up there. Yeah. So he just Trent has not been back on one yet, a corner at least that I've seen, or that. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have an opinion on the Liverpool guys? It'll just kind of depend on the lineup, but I think you're probably going to want one.
Yeah, it's like,
and if we're playing a cheap forward, that's why we're going to do it probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's we weren't going to do the show because honestly, all this Liverpool stuff is difficult to talk about without knowing who's starting. Like, all of this is dependent on who starts, the Soboslai, the McAllister situation. All of this is dependent on who starts, so it's kind of hard to really dive into it. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to get there. If this is the lineup we get, like, do we want to play Soboslai for 7.3K? If we do that, that means we're gonna have to figure something else out for defense. Because with Salah, Eze, and then Soboslai, we're going to be strapped for cash a little bit at defense. So that will be a decision if you're playing.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, Adam, but we have a $2,800 defender with set pieces on this slate. One of your favorite defenders. He might even be like a wing back. Anyways, back to midfield. Wharton, we got Wharton there at 4,900. He's got to be in consideration, right?
If you're going to come at me and tell me people are going to play Ben Johnson, I'm going to end the show right now.
he looks like an okay play. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think of Wharton for 49? I mean, he hasn't taken a corner all season, but he's got to be splitting here, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Has Hughes been taking them?
Yeah, or Devaney. Hughes or Devaney.
Wharton has 9 corner crosses this season, according to
right. Or I should say since he came back. He hasn't, I believe.
Yeah, I get. Okay, so it's just been Eze and Hughes is more or less what it's been.
Yeah, and Devaney when they played in the cup together. But you'd have to think he'll be back on him here. I don't see why not. It could be Tyreek Mitchell, like he has taken 1 or 2, but I would doubt it. I would doubt that. So Wharton for 49 seems pretty good to me. I mean,
so I guess, would you rather play Wharton or Soboslai here?
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough call. I mean, price is involved. I think Wharton can't be. Wharton. The minutes with Wharton are a worry for sure. He hasn't played longer than 78. He's got to be thought of as a little bit fragile just right now.
He was slowly coming back from injury. Like, we can look at his game log here.
I think he could go 80.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't want to use him back-to-back games, just back from injury here. And now without Hughes, I think definitely 80 is in here. I personally would not worry about minutes. I think he's good to go. He's been training fully, and I've pretty much read all these press conferences, and it's basically been glass. Yeah. It's like, Wharton's getting back. He's getting there. So
they're just being careful because he's so important, I think, for the future too. But good play for 4,900, especially if he's splitting sets. He's got a good shot on him. I think he takes long shots whenever he can. I like Wharton. I don't know who's better. Like, probably depends on the Liverpool lineup. I mean, Soboslai has more upside, obviously.
Yeah. Either or.
I think that's the whole pool, though, pretty much. I mean, like, um, Pereira Monopoly for 71. I wouldn't, if somebody said that's better than, or they prefer that to Sobo and cash, like,
It's not crazy.
I don't think that's the worst thing. Yeah, because like 90 minutes of Pereira could get you a big floor game.
Yeah, so Harry Wilson,
the right scripts.
Harry Wilson and Reece Nelson are still out. Lukic is suspended, and then Traore is not 100% either. So if Traore is not in, then I think we're definitely getting 90 from Pereira again. That's what it seems like, at least.
Yeah, so I think you can consider Pereira. Like he's similar to Soboslai for different reasons. Other than that, though, that's it, right? Obviously, we're not playing Southampton. Brighton don't have any cash mids.
You're not playing Matias Fernandez, your guy at 4.8K?
We can't do it here, unfortunately. I mean, Liverpool were just dominated, but that was by PSG. I mean, if I would do anything, it would be Sulemana, because you're just hoping for some one-off breakaway goal. Like Sulemana's a mini Doku. Trent's already worried about that, so don't be surprised if you see him get behind the defense one time.
Mini Doku. Yeah, there's some Brighton guys down here, but it's still like a question of, do you actually want to do this? Mats Wiefer has a chance to start at right back. He was mentioned by Hertzler as being an option there because Lamptey and Veltman are out. Also, Jack Hinshelwood is 3,800. Emile Smith-Rowe is back from his injury. He's also 3,800. Again, if Adama Traore is out, he's another guy who, if he's ready, could be close to 90 minutes there, 3,800.
Oh, yeah, 38's not bad. Yeah, those 5 defender lineups I've seen have a front three of Iwobi, Smith-Rowe, and Jimenez. 3,800, that's not bad.
And then Pereira next to Sanderberg.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
And then, he seems too expensive here, but I think Diego Gomez is the new guy that takes right-footed sets. I'm trying to check, but
yeah, is he one of your favorites coming over from Messi's old squad?
I had only known him internationally. Unfortunately, I'm not in the MLS streets. I do kind of wish I was. I do have some FOMO about it, but he played well internationally this summer.
They haven't had a ton of corners lately, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, no, and he's too expensive as a defensive midfielder here, but I just noticed that he took the right-footed sets the last time he started.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, always with the Brighton midfielders, whether it's Ayari, maybe not so much as Baleba, but whoever that second guy is just going to get subbed early. Hertzler is going to sub that guy just because he has guys on his bench. Yeah, that's how it's been all season. So the fun position here, defender. I think there's a chance you could go 3 defenders here, and kind of go with some of this the cheap, maybe a cheap Ipswich guy, maybe a Wharton kind of thing. So TAA is 6.7K, Munoz is 6.6K, Simicast 6.2, and I guess got to mention Anthony is 6K, Tyreek Mitchell 5.8K. Oh, and I guess Estupinian 5.5K. So a lot of intriguing options here. Leaf Davis 4.7K, Ryan's guy Ben Johnson 2.8K. But who are the must plays here? Is this a fade TAA slate? I know it was midweek, and I'm not sure I can get there on this one.
Yeah, how did he do midweek?
I'm sure he did terrible. He didn't do good, did he?
I'm going to say the same thing I said on that podcast. It was a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but I think he'll be over-owned for the context of the slate and just everything. I'm not saying he's a bad play, but I think he's going to be over-owned for the price and for a guy that's not taking any corner kicks and for a guy that gets subbed sometimes and he's really just hasn't been quite the same open play that we're used to now. The matchup's great, but like just based on name and stuff, like he can still have a big game here. He still has open play goals in him and should get pretty far forward in this matchup, quite a few times and have some opportunities to get involved. But yeah, I think he'll be a little overowned. I think Tsimikas is the best play. Just, half the sets, cheaper, has been going 90 when he starts. And then, the Leicester guys, the Ipswich guys, Leif Davis has been better recently. You could see him as more attacking again. They've been using wingbacks or pseudo wingbacks recently. He seems like a decent play. Estupinian with sets at home seems like a pretty good play. Estupinian would be chalk on a slate without Liverpool. So yeah, 3 defenders definitely in play here. And then your Palace guys, I mean, nobody's going to touch them, but I mean, you're the leader of the Daniel Munoz fan club. I mean, nobody's going to play him here. A guy just comes up with goals all the time.
Look at that game log. You can't deny
it's unreal.
I
mean, how do you not love Munoz? I mean, you touting him for his celebration intensity that was legendary stuff.
I think that was Jack's last show, wasn't it?
Might have been. But I mean, he's come pretty good ever since then.
Yeah, 6.6K, 1v1 TAA versus Munoz. Who do you got?
Man, I'd have to say TAA just for the matchup, I guess, but it's a good spot for Munoz.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, again, rotowire.com/soccertrial 48-hour trial. I've been using this cheat sheet on the show, but you can also get player profiles as well. Also, one thing that are very helpful. As you can see, Trent's numbers just aren't the same without corners. He basically hasn't been taking corners for a little more than a month now. And I mean, look at these crossing numbers: 1, 0, 0, 2, 1, 1. Just the crossing numbers just aren't there.
Now, crossing numbers might go up in Darwin's first start. That usually happens. They've been like, but yeah, still like, look, doesn't change the point really.
Yeah, it's I mean, we could see another, if he doesn't make the score sheet, 8 points, whatever. Or
Right.
or he could score a goal or he can get assists. I mean, kind of like Munoz. I don't know. I think it's pretty similar to Munoz because Munoz's floor isn't great either. He just like pops up on the score sheet so frequently. I guess his floor has dropped off as well, but I think it is a tough.
Is Kyle Walker-Peters going to be out?
No, he's good.
He's good. Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's nice they have their best defender at least. I was trying to think who's going to be out there.
Yeah, he had a minor knock in that last game. I think. Either way, yeah, I think he's going to be fine. I mean, it depends how much these guys care. Was that last game was against Chelsea? Just like what is the level on this team right here?
Liverpool have a big game coming up though, right? I mean, a few days later.
Well, this is the first of 3 finals, though. That's what.
Yeah, that was a good point you made, though. You should see guys get rested here. This is a nothing game, first of 3 finals.
Not according to Slot.
Yeah, I know. This is a nothing game, really.
Yeah, they have PSG and then they have Newcastle. They have the final, I believe.
Yeah,
the weekend, right?
See, that's why, what should happen is Tsimikas plays 90 for sure. Now, I'm not a manager, but you're saving Robertson for the Champions League 100%. But yeah, then these other guys might get subbed. You could McAllister, Sobo, Salah, all the important guys are liable to get subbed.
So what do you think? Do you play Salah for 60 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to play Salah. He's scoring a brace, in the first half. It doesn't really change anything. But anyone else is really fadeable.
We'll lock Tsimikas in.
Yeah, Tsimikas is a great play too.
Is there a definite number 2 defender that we want?
No, I don't think there can be a definite one, right? I think it's between Ipswich and Estupinian, right? I mean, we can't really mention, I didn't even mention Jedi, but you can't really get there on this slate. Estupinian sets or Ipswich sets. can go either way because Estupinian hasn't been great, like open floor or open play stuff, and I can see that continuing to be the case. I lean Ipswich guy, Adam.
Yeah, I think it was earlier in the season. At least I think it was Hertzler who was just like Estupinian doesn't play defense. I could be thinking of prior managers, but I feel like it was Hertzler. And then he got injured, so he's been kind of then Lamptey basically took over a role. But without Lamptey, without Veltman, maybe we do get 90. It has been a while since they played as well. Maybe we do get 90 from Estupinian. But yeah, it's 5.5K. Yeah, I think it's difficult.
Sets, it's nice to have home sets for Estupinian. So you can't really argue with that play.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a.
You might play 3, like you said. Probably are playing 3 in cash. I mean, maybe not. I guess like maybe you play a Wharton at the flex sometimes, but yeah, it's tough.
So Leaf Davis or Ben Johnson?
I mean, for 2K difference, I'm gonna take Ben Johnson. I just have to. And Johnson, is he in the form of his life, Adam? He kind of is. He went 120 in that against Forest. Yeah. No,
right.
Seriously though, like, okay, this is it. Like he's taken corners in his last. He's taken corners for a while now. Right?
Okay.
He has. So he's 2,800 taking corners. That's really it.
So
maybe they only get 2 corners, but like.
So let's try and answer this here.
Well,
if Hutchinson or Enciso starts, I don't think Ben Johnson takes corners.
Well, Hutchinson, I don't think would matter because he's lefty. But you're right, and Enciso would probably end Ben Johnson's run at corner kicks. I agree.
And then,
Enciso, yeah.
And then I'd also say, just looking at these, so without Tuanzebe, like this is another thing that just really depends on their formation and who actually plays.
Yeah.
Because Tuanzebe is not there, and Tuanzebe was, the de facto faux right back, whatever you want to call him. So that allowed Ben Johnson to play more attacking. Sometimes he's been listed as like an attacking midfielder, wing back, whatever you want to call it. So if we get like the other defender here would be if like Wolfenden,
yeah,
like our guy Wolfie, if he's in there with Greaves and O'Shea, then we're getting Davis and Johnson on the wings.
Then it's BJ season.
Then that's when we're looking at these guys. I think if they play in this formation 4-2-3-1 with 4 defenders, like I think this is just like one of those plays that's just like I'm playing him because he supposedly has sets and he's been awesome. I think it would be like a 3-point situation for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
All of his positive numbers have come in more attacking situations, and I'm pretty sure he's been terrible as like the lone right back in his starts.
Yeah, and it's actually like a really bad matchup. I always think for underdogs when they're up against that side of Mitchell and Eze.
He had a weird 9-point. He had a 9-point floor against Man City. Okay, so actually that was okay. That was a 5-4-1, but I guess he doesn't really too much. The last time he was like as a solo right back here in a 4-2-3-1 back to December. So maybe this doesn't even happen. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Like you said, look for your boy Wolfie. And if he's in there, it's time to load up on Ben Johnson, I think.
Yeah. He'll be popular either way because people don't really care about lineups and they're just going to play him.
Right. But you're right. He could bust in a back 4.
More likely to not bust if there's 3 center backs is what we'll say.
Right.
If I said that correctly.
Right.
Goalkeeper. Do you want the best goalkeeper in Champions League, Alisson, for 5.9K? Or do you want to go down to Aaron Ramsdale? I don't know. What are we doing here? I don't know what to do. Who's your goalkeeper?
I don't know. I actually did think about it. You can play Alisson or Ramsdale.
What if we get massive Liverpool rotation? Would you be more likely to play Ramsdale?
I don't know, because they probably just take less shots then. Like, so I don't think it matters. You kind of want shots. Like, I want 30 shots if I'm playing Ramsdale. I hear you. I hear you, because maybe they'll score 2 goals only, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't matter. It
Less
just doesn't
efficient.
matter. Just doesn't matter.
You don't think if Salah's not in there that they're less likely to score?
That definitely matters. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Alex
think you can play
Palmer.
Leno.
Man, Alex Palmer, are you kidding me? I don't know if I can do it.
No, Leno. Sorry, I meant Leno.
No, that's
I
what you
think
said.
play.
Did you did you play Alex Palmer at all against Manchester United a couple weeks ago?
No, I did not.
Oh, lucky you. Lucky you. What a tough game.
I might have though. I don't know. I don't even remember though.
This is a tough goalkeeper slate. We got the two terrible teams on the road, and then Brighton, Fulham. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Like, Leno can win for 4,100. Just kind of what I always say. So Leno seems fine. But yeah, it's goalkeeper. So obviously we don't have answers. You're never going to spend for Henderson. That would only be a tournament play. If you're going to spend, it's for Alisson, for Bruggen, only in tournaments as well. But yeah, I don't know. I saw it again this week. There's plenty of top players that will stack Liverpool and with Ramsdale if you need to. And we've seen those lineups win with the goalie scoring like 4 points. So I don't know. Play whoever you want.
Yeah, I'll say Verbruggen, Leno, or Palmer. That's what I'll say. And if like Salah's not starting, then I'll go Ramsdale.
I mean, yeah, no.
I don't want to play the top 2 guys.
There's a couple lineups that you can only make them with Ramsdale that look pretty good.
Those lineups sucks. So
yeah, so don't make them.
Do you want to play Tyreek Mitchell?
No.
You're out. You're out in Tyreek.
Well, Ben Chilly's on the bench now, so it just makes me more.
Ben Chilly just went 90 minutes for the first time in a year in the last game. Is that? You have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. And also, they did not bring Ben Chilly in to like overtake Mitchell or play over Mitchell. Mitchell is much better.
Back to back 90s.
Yeah, no. But no, I can't play Mitchell though. How can you play Mitchell?
He's kind of intriguing. I think Mitchell is actually more likely to cross than Munoz. I think we've said this before on the show. He's more likely to cross, but he's not as likely to score as Munoz.
Yes, that's true. But
he is 5.8.
In general, they're also less likely to cross with Sir Edward at the number 9 instead of Mateta. So, no, because who's going to get their head on Mitchell's cross,
Munoz.
Maybe, actually. Or Lerma or something.
Far post Munoz, Crystal Palace defensive stack.
That's the one.
Here we go. I still haven't figured out my lineup here. This is a difficult one. We've hashed it out, but we still haven't found any answers. So we talked mostly about cash games, some general tournament thoughts here. How do we win tournaments with this Liverpool team? Do you think how many lineups are just going to be?
I don't know that you're going to win tournaments with the Liverpool team.
How popular do you think?
Unless it's like Curtis Jones or something, but
how popular do you think like 6 Liverpool guys is going to be?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not too popular, but like.
So would you say like a Liverpool full stack would fade Eze?
Yeah, those won't be that popular probably.
There you go.
I think people will stack Liverpool like as best they can with Eze. For tournaments, I mean,
throw Gravenberch in there for 3,500 golden.
Yeah, something like that. You could consider Brighton and Fulham, but we didn't even talk about that. You talked about Welbeck. Welbeck's cheap. It's 5,500. That's fine. Obviously, he'll be relatively popular though for that price. Maybe if he makes everything work. Can't see anyone playing Iwobi or Jimenez. I probably won't either. Sarr and Nketiah seem like decent tournament plays to me.
Sarr and Nketiah. You think they're not going to be that popular?
Well, the Liverpool guys will keep them less popular. I mean, they're really priced kind of the same as Nunez and Diaz. They'll be owned, obviously. It's a good home matchup, but I don't know. It's tough. What else? You can't really do anything else. It's a 3-game slate. There's not, and one of the spots is Liverpool. Take away Southampton. There's just not a lot there. Play Liam Delap for 42. People will play that. That's fine.
So this Liverpool stack: Salah, Nunez, McAllister, Szoboszlai, TAA, Tsimikas, Ramsdale, Ben Johnson. You think that's going to be popular?
Oh, did you just read off a lineup?
Yeah. 6 Liverpool guys with Ramsdale and Ben Johnson. You got remaining 100 salary. You think that's the lineup that people try to go to?
Who's the second forward?
Darwin.
I mean, it'll be something similar to that. Yeah. I had it built before. Now I'm trying to.
So go off the basis of that being popular. You just want to try and mix it up a little bit. So that lineup, as you said earlier, doesn't include Curtis Jones. Then who else am I missing?
Oh, you don't have Szoboszlai?
Szoboszlai's in that. The lineup does not have McAllister
or Wharton?
Curtis Jones or Wharton. Yeah.
Who is?
I mean, you could even get different. Just be like, let's go with Van Dijk here instead of TAA and.
Wait, who's your flex in that lineup?
Ben Johnson.
Who's your second defender?
Both Liverpool fullbacks.
Oh, Trent?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Trent's the fade. For cash. I doubt Sharps play Trent in cash. I could be wrong, dude. I don't know anything. I don't know anything with what people do
He doesn't know anything.
Not in some spots. I don't know. Maybe Trent is just a smash and I don't know it.
All right, let's we're plugging in Sulemana. I think Southampton are scoring. I also think Ipswich are scoring. So let's go. Let's get that Delap goal as well. I'm building a great lineup here as we speak. And man, we're still struggling at goalkeeper. All right, so there it is. Sulemana and Delap. We're getting both the single bullet goals with Ipswich and Southampton. And then you can play Salah as a Sarr. Easy enough. Pretty easy lineup. So this Brighton and Fulham match here.
I guess it could happen though, where just like McAllister and or Sobo might not start. Probably one of them doesn't start.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. Like, is there a path to Trent sets? Like if there's no McAllister, for example, there's probably there might be a path to Trent sets. I don't know. So like, people want to play him. You play him. I don't want to say he's like a bad play.
He might be a bad play.
Like he could be he'd be like over 8K here if he was taking sets. Remember when he got up to like 9K? So I mean,
yeah.
At least he's priced down a little bit.
Yeah, you got what's your favorite tournament route here? I don't know. We've been talking for 50 minutes, but I'm not sure we got anywhere. It's
I don't know. I think we got everywhere. What did we miss?
No, I'm not saying we missed something, but I'm just trying to figure out how to win tournaments.
It's one of those slates where you can't really it's just like one player is going to win you a tournament. One random guy putting up an outlier number. I don't know who it's going to be.
I think one of these Ipswich guys is going to be a tournament winner. Maybe your guy Philogene. I think Ipswich. Yeah, I think Ipswich is going to score a goal, so I think you want to get that from somewhere.
Yeah, I do too, and they're all cheap. You're just telling me that Palace is just this nightmare of a matchup, and now Ipswich are going to score a goal. So I don't know what's going on.
Hey, I'm just trying to give two sides of the story here.
Okay,
Come on.
good.
What's your take on this Brighton Fulham match?
I'm not sure.
These games are always hard.
No, it's just Brighton
Brighton
are like kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. Fulham without Sasa Lukic, maybe not great. Like you said, if they use this back five formation, it hasn't been great. But you know, they have a good manager and are a good team overall. So like, I don't know how this game's going to go.
How much Jedi would you play in a back five, back three?
I think you got to I would consider him. Like he
had some really good games when he was playing out on the wing.
Yeah, I think you got to consider him, and it's a pretty good matchup because he's up against they have no Veltman or Lamptey. So what Hinchelwood right back? I'll take that matchup. You got to take that matchup.
I guess his games weren't that good, but
I just mean nobody's going to play him, so
yeah,
he's an okay play. There's a lot of opportunity cost.
Yeah,
but he could be the second highest scoring defender.
Yeah, and then similar, João Pedro, PK taker. Always got to note that.
Minta been on fire.
Brighton been playing well. So Fulham, though. So have Fulham.
Yeah, that's both teams have been playing well. Tough to predict.
Interesting matchup. Yeah. I think we'll get a couple Crystal Palace goals. Maybe they'll allow one.
Yeah, though, João Pedro, that's a good tournament shout by you for sure. João Pedro is going to go overlooked here. Has a ceiling for sure. Kind of like that.
Yeah, 6.9K. He's not. No one's really looking at this.
He's sandwiched in between the two Palace guys, and
the third game.
Yeah.
That's all we got, though. Rotowire.com/soccer trial, 48-hour trial. This has been for Saturday's 3-game slate. We got Champions League next week. It doesn't end. Champions League next week. Cheat sheets are not out. We got Manchester United home against Arsenal. What a game on Sunday. What a game. But Ryan, thank you for joining me. You can find him at Ryan Belongia. I'm at Zdroik. Good luck on the slate. Again, we have our Discord. I should mention this. If you're still around, if you're still listening, rotowire.com/chat. There is a free version of our Discord that you can check out. But obviously, you're going to want the subscriber-only soccer channel to get into that, because that is the best channel in the RotoWire Discord. So you're still going to want a subscription. Rotowire.com/soccer trial. Thank you, Ryan. Good luck, everyone. We'll see everyone next week.
Thanks, Adam. Good luck, everybody.